So I had an interesting interaction today at the deli, and I walked in dressed sharp, obviously, because I'm always working and I'm always getting things done. And the person behind the cash register happened to be the owner this time, right? So every now and then I'll go in, it'll maybe be one of his workers, or sometimes it'll be him. And he had a smile on his face when he saw me, and he complimented me. Jose, I love how you carry yourself. You carry yourself like a professional. I can tell that you're in real estate, right? Now, obviously, he already knows that I'm in real estate. We've already talked about it. But then he goes on to make another specific comment that I found quite interesting and actually relatable, not in my sense, but in the sense of many agents that aren't necessarily doing well, right? And that is, he mentioned to me something that he noticed in the morning, right? Earlier on in the morning. He said, somebody actually walked in here who was also in real estate. He told me he was in real estate, but when I looked at him, he didn't really look like he was in real estate. The way that he carried himself, the way that he communicated, the way that he was dressed, he just seemed like just some regular guy walking in, making an order. That's it. And I found that interesting because I think about the barrier of entry for this industry, right? In the state of New York, you have to take a 75-hour course. After that 75-hour course, you take an exam, and then, if you study hard enough, you'll pass the exam, and then you'll get your real estate license. Now, that doesn't necessarily qualify you for having people skills. It doesn't necessarily qualify you for running a business. It doesn't necessarily qualify you for having the discipline necessary for you to be able to transact, make sales, and actually be profitable in this business. When I first started this business, I had to understand that the person that I was before the business and the person that I am today are two complete different fucking person, right? Two complete different people. So because I understood that we are two different people, then I had to understand what I had to adapt to, how I dressed, how I spoke, my tonality, how I carried myself, what to say, what not to say, how to greet somebody, how to introduce myself, right? What the day-to-day looks like. Am I going to have to make phone calls? Am I going to have to go to networking events? How do I present myself in these networking events? What kind of audiobooks should I listen to, or should I listen to hip hop and rap every single time I'm going to a listing appointment, right? But seriously, you start to ask yourselves all these questions that mold your identity into being the professional that you need to be able to make the money that you want to make. And I thought about that specific individual, how he was describing him, and I was just like, yeah, that's why a lot of people aren't making money in this industry or any industry, because they carry themselves as the person that they think they are, not the person that they're aiming to be. And that's the problem, right? Don't carry yourself as the person you've always perceived yourself to be, especially if you come from nothing. If you come from a place where everybody has told you that you're going to amount to nothing, that you're just a regular person, that you're not inspired, that you're not influential, and then you decide to wear those values everywhere you go, everybody's going to recognize you as somebody that qualifies as those values. And that's not who you want to be if you're aiming to achieve a certain level of success in any business, right? Like if I'm looking to become a millionaire in real estate, I must carry myself like a millionaire. I must communicate like a millionaire. I must dress like a millionaire, right? I must think like a millionaire. And this is what a lot of people don't get. They want to make the money, but they don't want to tap into the frequency that allows them to attract the money. And for you to be able to tap into that frequency, you have to take a look at the habits that you're setting forth every single day. How you're waking up, how you brush your teeth, how you look at yourself in the mirror. Everything has to do with the person that you're aiming to be. That person that has that kind of money in any industry, he moves a certain way. And it's in your best interest to understand what those habits are and to mimic those habits. I'll give you guys 3, right? The first thing is waking up early. I noticed that a lot of millionaires that I know, they wake up early. Why? Because it allows them to do more throughout the day. And also, if you're waking up early, it also signifies that you're probably not going to sleep too late, which is also keeping you out of all the bullshit that's happening at night, right? The clubs, the bars, girls, all this shit, right? Now, I love women, don't get me wrong. At the same time, you have to be able to moderate yourself, and you have to be able to find that rhythm that is going to allow you to have your priorities in order and have your priorities in check. A lot of guys that are in this industry and in any industry, they're not making money because they don't have their priorities in check, right? They make one sale and they go ahead and blow that money on stupid shit. And that can't be you, because if you do that, you're going to be broke. You're going to be the kind of guy that makes some money then has nothing, makes some money then has nothing, and then you can't really build anything, right? Instead, aspire to be the guy that makes money and invests most of that money back into his business. Of course, have a life, have friends, socialize, whatever, but at the same time, take 80%, take most of that money and invest it right back into your business to get more leads, to put yourself in front of more opportunities, to buy yourself a better, you could say, suit or a better attire that you could wear out and be more memorable, right? Be more pleasant to be around, be more pleasant to speak with. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself so that other people can also like to be around you, because they know that everybody wants to be around beauty, period. Everybody wants to be around somebody that's attractive. Everybody wants to be around somebody that takes care of his appearances, right? Because we judge. And if the first thing that we see is a sloppy bum that looks like he's been sleeping under a tunnel for the last, 20 years, they're not going to want to be around you. But if they see somebody that's sharp, collected, carries himself well, is dressed good, smells good, people want to be around that. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. People want to be around that, right? So that's another thing, right? Waking up early, and then also the way that you're allowing your image to be presented. It's very, very important through all the senses, right? How you sound, how you look, how you smell, everything, right? People have to get a congruent image of yourself, right? Of a professional that carries himself seriously and is somebody of value, right? So that's another thing. Now, the last thing I'll say is the millionaires that I surround myself with that are respected, they also tend to take care of their physique, right? Now, there's people that have money, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people that have money that are fat and don't necessarily have the best personal image. We've seen examples of that. But what I'll tell you is this: the level of respect that those people get, as opposed to the level of respect that a person that's in shape, is wearing a nice tailored suit, looks good, smells good, communicates good. And here's the thing too, because you could be overweight and you could tailor your suits to fit your body, which is going to be better than obviously just walking around with something off the rack that doesn't necessarily fit you well. But the best fashion advice that I can give anybody is get in shape. Why? Because once you're in shape, everything fits better. Everything literally fits better once you're in shape. And also, what does being in shape communicate about you? It communicates that you have discipline. It communicates that you have commitment, that you can commit to certain things for a long period of time. It communicates a variety of different things, right? That are all positive values, right? And if you're presenting yourself in that manner, people are going to be more you're going to be more trustworthy if you're presenting yourself in that specific manner in all of these different rooms, because now people are going to be like, wow, this guy is actually investing in himself and putting himself as a priority. I like that. And you'd be surprised, but a lot of people respect that. So that's why I always tell people, listen, wake up early, right? Dress to impress. Take care of yourself, right? Take care of yourself. Go to the gym, work out, get yourself in shape, because it's not only just going to be good for your presentation, but it's going to be good for your overall health, right? So why not give yourself the advantage of having the physique that you want, be attractive, right? Have a good life, enjoy your life, and then also make the kind of money that you want to make, because more people are going to be receptive to you and your influence, right? Because of how you present yourself. And that's the key, right? If you're going to be a salesperson, and I highly recommend, if anybody here that is watching this video doesn't know whether he wants to go to college, whether he wants to, get a job or whatever it is, listen, I highly recommend that you look into being a salesperson. Why? Because when you're being a salesperson and you understand how to be a good salesperson, you can feed yourself anywhere you go in life, right? Anywhere you go, anywhere you roam, you're going to be able to feed yourself. These are skills that they could drop you in the middle of a desert and you'll find your way out. That's how valuable these skills are, right? A lot of people talk about how much money you get paid as a salesperson, but they don't talk enough about the skills and what those skills can get you into and out of, right? So it's just overall going to help you in life, just like boxing, right? Boxing is a sport that I recommend everybody to partake in, right? In some way, shape, or form. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly boxing, but some kind of a martial art. Why? Because not only are you going to get the benefit of that specific sport and what it's going to do to you, right, in regards to your physicality, you're going to be healthy, you're going to be all that stuff, but you're also going to get the discipline, right, of being in that sport. And then if you're out, right, and somebody is threatening your life or your family's life, you're going to know how to defend yourself. So it's a sport that goes beyond the game. And that's how I look at life. I don't just look at things on a surface level or just one-dimensional. I look at things beyond the scope of what everybody else perceives it to be, right? I like to look 3 to 5 steps ahead so that I understand how useful the tools that I have are to my toolbox, right? So start to think like this. Start to carry yourself in this manner. Start to put more importance in yourself and allow yourself to be the individual that has the kind of life that you aspire to live.